Hey guys, this is National Master Kevin Yang back at it with another video. So this game is against ChessPoki, a new member, and if we look at his profile, identify him as Steven. That name sounds familiar, and I don't know, there was a Steven maybe a few years back, at the Gambito or something. I'm not sure, but if you are that Steven, then feel free to comment down below and say, I am that Steven. But if you aren't, then just, move on and just know that somebody else is also shares that name. So this game was really challenging. E4, C5, Knight F3, D6. We walk into the territory of the Najdorf, the Sicilian Najdorf. And it goes D4, takes, Knight F6, Knight C3, and usually A6 happens here. Sometimes G6 to go back into the dragon, the Sicilian dragon. And sometimes people play the move that ChessPoki played in the game, Knight to C6. And I'm going to be honest, I had no idea what to do here. I wasn't sure if it was bishop to E3. I wasn't sure if it was bishop to E2. I wasn't sure if it was bishop to G5. But I went with my instinct. I said bishop to G5. E6. And here I was thinking, okay, well, I can play queen D2. I can play bishop to E2. But I wanted to make things interesting, bring the knight back. And you might ask why? And the answer is I don't have an answer for you because it was a personal preference. After bishop e7, bishop to e2, castles, and queen to d2. So, as you can tell, not much here. This is a Sicilian, whatever it is, the classical variation, whatever it may be, but a6 comes on the board. So all of a sudden I think, okay, b5, the bishop's coming out. Okay, well I gotta prevent that. a4. And after a4, e5 now. And I'm like, okay, interesting. I see. Our friend ChessPoki knows that the bishop belongs on e6. And at this point, I decide, you know what? I'm not sure how to play a dragon, or I'm not sure how to play the white side of an open Sicilian. So let's go Hail Mary. Let's play h4. Bishop e6, and here I make a pretty bad decision. I played the move f3. And I remember I regretted it after my opponent played bishop takes b3. And so I look at this position again, and now I wonder, how do I really get this guy out of harm's way, right? Because if I play knight c1, then I run into some problems too, because there's knight d4, there's rook c8, and I have to take a move to get our friend back out there. So I'm thinking, okay, well, I can't do anything, right? So I gotta play f3, but let's think about it a little bit. Maybe there's g3 and f4. Maybe we just take on f6 and play knight to d5. Maybe that was the plan all along. But in the game, I didn't know. I was like, you know what? This kind of stumps me. So I played f3, thinking, if you want to take, go ahead. I'm going to start charging like a bull. And our friend ChessPoki took. And at first I was like, okay, well, this might not be too bad for me. Knight d4, bishop d1. I thought about bishop c4, but I didn't want to run into b5. And the reason why I say I didn't want to run into b5 is after takes and takes, I have to deal with this. And I have to deal with this. So what do? Take, queen takes, and I can't take with the knight because, well, I'm going to show you what happens. Take, and bam. And what do? Queen d1, look at that. A switcheroo, right? So I know I can't do that, so I gotta play bishop takes b5. But then what happens? Knight takes b3. And I'm thinking, what? The knight's gonna have the d4 square. My bishop might be okay, but that knight is gonna be pretty dominant. If black brings the bishop from d8 to b6 to support that knight, I'm pretty toast. So what do I do now? Well, you'll find out in the next video. So I'll see you then.